The story begins not on a stage, but through the crackle of a long-distance telephone line. Peta Gibb, the only daughter of pop sensation Andy Gibb, grew up knowing her father as a disembodied voice rather than a physical presence. Born in 1978 just as her parents' relationship collapsed, Peta was raised in Australia while her father's face was plastered on every magazine in America. To the world, Andy was the golden boy of the disco era, the youngest brother of the legendary Bee Gees, and a heartthrob with a seemingly perfect life. But to Peta, he was a distant uncle figure, a man she saw only a handful of times during brief, fleeting visits. She navigated a childhood where her famous surname brought more whispers and teasing than comfort, forcing her to find her own identity in photography and music, away from the blinding glare of the spotlight. Behind that spotlight, Andy Gibb was living a tragedy the public was not yet ready to see. His rise to fame in the late 1970s was so rapid that it demanded a level of maturity he hadn't yet developed. Straining under the pressure of relentless touring and the constant, heavy comparison to his older brothers, Andy turned to cocaine to keep up with the demands of his career. What began as a way to stay sharp quickly spiraled into a debilitating addiction. His health began to fail, his finances were drained by mismanagement and lawsuits, and his personal relationships fractured. A high-profile romance with actress Victoria Principal ended with a heartbreaking ultimatum to get sober, an effort Andy made multiple times, yet the grip of addiction and deep-seated depression proved too strong to break. By the late 1980s, the golden boy was a shadow of his former self. Seeking a fresh start and the protection of his family, Andy moved to England in 1987 to work on new music. For a moment, there was a glimmer of hope. He appeared healthier and seemed ready to reclaim his throne. However, years of internal physical strain had already done its damage. In March 1988, just days after his 30th birthday, Andy was hospitalized with severe chest pains and died of myocarditis. He passed away with no wealth, no will, and no financial security for his daughter, leaving a legacy defined as much by what was lost as by what was achieved. Peta was left to process the devastation and anger of a father gone too soon, eventually finding peace through forgiveness and joining her cousins in the Gibb Collective to honor the family roots she had been disconnected from for so long. The tragedy of the Gibb family did not end with Andy. Over the following decades, the legendary harmony of the Bee Gees was systematically silenced by loss. Maurice Gibb died suddenly in 2003, followed by Robin in 2012, leaving Barry Gibb as the sole survivor of the four brothers. While the world mourned the loss of a musical era, a second generation of Gibbs was quietly picking up the pieces. Robin's and Morris's children, like Spencer, RJ, and Samantha, chose paths in art and music that prioritized craft over celebrity. They lived in the aftermath of fame, dealing with the silence that follows the applause and finding ways to preserve their father's memories through collaborative projects and private reflections. Today, the story of the Gibbs is one of resilience led by Barry, the keeper of the family flame. Supported by a stable 50-year marriage, Barry raised 5 children who became his musical partners rather than his competitors. From Steve touring as his father's guitarist to Alexandra sharing the stage as a vocalist, Barry's children represent a continuation of the music that never truly stopped. The narrative comes full circle back to Peta Gibb, who now carries her father's name with pride. The story of Andy Gibb and his brothers is no longer just a rise and fall cautionary tale, it is a complex saga of a family that reached the highest peaks of human achievement and navigated the deepest valleys of grief, proving that while the singers may pass away, the harmony they created is prestige buzz. If you found this deep dive into the Gibb legacy moving, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss another story from Prestige Buzz.